Thank you very much for joining us again. This is the last part of this debate, which seems to be flying by. Richard, Hazel and Andy, thank you very much for staying here. Well, actually, if you'd gone, it would have been really good to I was just talking about this psychic show that I saw, which isn't on anymore, thankfully. I'd like to know if it was because of the Ofcom complaints that must have been coming. But it started off with this young thing that obviously was a baby, couldn't speak. And this psychic started to say, get into or channel this baby's thought process. The mother was there, single mother, and he started to cry, but talk in a baby accent, well, baby way, which was stupid because the baby couldn't talk. So, and saying, I wish the man wouldn't hurt mummy. I wish the man wouldn't hurt mummy. Why are these men keep coming into mummy's home? They don't love you, mummy. And I was sitting there thinking, please tell me no one really believes this man is actually channeling this poor little kid. I mean, fortunately, the kid will grow up and not know anything about it, but the mother was in tears, thinking that he actually was talking or channeling her daughter.
Disgusting. How do you get away with that?
But it was on the television. Someone actually commissioned it. I'm assuming it was taken, I think it was a series, I'm assuming it was taken off.
Was this British or American?
British.
Good God.
I'll tell you when we finish, I'll tell you who the psychic was.
Okay. I saw pictures of a ghost investigation in some castle somewhere, but in Britain, where they had a small child who'd obviously been brought along, and they were using this child, from what I gathered from reading the captions on the pictures, to channel spirits. And so in other words, not talk to me, but use as if like tea leaves or a crystal ball, you know, but using a small child, that they obviously felt small children are more sensitive to the spirits, and therefore I can use this child as a way of. So they had this kid sort of lying down there. Presumably its mum was there as well, and this bloke waving hands above it. It's quite
I had a medium. Someone very close to me was abused very badly at an early age, and when we talk about cold reading, a medium we once used picked up on that and used that against her. When we challenged her, saying, you know, because she kept saying, I'm real. You know, I'm not disputing that, but and then for some reason
she's a real person.
I'm not disputing a real person, exactly. But she actually used that against this person, and she was mortified. She was in tears. I mean, for weeks afterwards.
But that's something that can. I mean, you as a psychotherapist, you know that the damage, that long-term damage that can do to somebody. Surely.
Yeah. Exactly. Because what just brought. I'm sorry. What brought this up with you is you talking about this. This is something very close to my heart with like child abuse. You know, it got me really annoyed, and that's what just made me think of it. Then you would have seen that as a psychotherapist. Me getting annoyed, you would have said, right, sometime in this man's past. He's got someone he knows has been abused, or someone, he obviously, by the way he's reacting towards this.
Not necessarily, because it would all be in context, wouldn't it? But if any medium, whether they're a fraudulent medium, a fake medium, or they're you know, the real deal.
It's catching on. It's an epidemic.
They have a duty, you know, whatever they're doing, they have a duty to make sure that the person they're delivering reading to is done responsibly, and if they're not doing that, then, you know, however good they are, it's all negated anyway, because as a psychotherapist I can watch the damage that it's doing. I've had clients coming to me because of mediums. I've had friends divorcing because of mediums. You know, lots of things that mediums have done. This is before all my involvement with this sort of stuff.
Taking it down to sort of
just before, there's something you just said there that's just triggered something in me now. There have been stories in the press before about fake doctors. People say that they're a doctor, and of course they get put in prison because they're a fake doctor. They give people the wrong diagnosis. I remember one where it was a really sad story. A couple, they weren't married, but they've been together for many years. They were going to get married. A fake doctor said that one of them had a sexually transmitted disease and could have only got it from her boyfriend. Now, she didn't have a sexually transmitted disease, and neither did he, but she left him because of that, and it took 5 years to get this guy to court and to have him, and he served some time. But by that time, the lad, she had moved on and found somebody else, because they'd split up. I mean, obviously, as you can imagine, that would have been a huge, horrible split.
To get over, yeah.
She's got off somebody else and got married. He is, you know, depressed. He's, you know, he tried to commit suicide because he can't live without this girl. Now, that is one man who has destroyed a life. And in fact,
it's not just one life, though, is it?
It's not just. But you think of a psychic can do the same damage. They can do that. Like you said, they can split people up. How dare they?
there was a very good skit, one of them on Phoenix Nights.
Yeah, oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? Where
Fantastic.
they had a medium come in and just walk around stirring up with everybody.
I'm seeing cancer. And
Yeah,
she's like,
you're not very well, are you?
You're not very well. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, that's it.
And they've obviously seen it. I mean, it was based clearly on the sort of people that he's seen working in these little clubs around the northwest.
I think you're right, Carl. I think there's a very deeply serious side to all of this, you know, and taking away the fact that whether they're fraud or whether they're not, it's, you know, it's about acting responsibly, and people that go to see mediums, I mean, people are vulnerable. People who have lost somebody automatically want something, and they're needing something. And I've actually, you know, I've told people not to do it. Do not go to see a medium. Get yourself sorted. Sort yourself out. And when you're okay, then make that decision.
Because the problem is with it, it's quite often it's seen, you know, fake mediumship, because a lot of people just don't believe in them anyway. I think the majority of us think they're all kind of, whatever. I mean, and we're surrounded by these comedians, which I like to call them, which are the ones that fall around on the floor and get possessed or channeled, whatever it is they call it these days. It's ridiculous, the ridiculous mediumship, and yeah, I think, great comedy show. There should be another one called Comedians, and it should just be the best possessions.
Quite like
but
that.
but the thing is with them, that's kind of seen as a bit of a joke. And mediumship, in general, is seen as a bit of a joke. It's, oh, bless them. You know, it's because your initial thing for the majority of us is the little tent at the end of a pier with a lady silver ball that you kind of go for a laugh. You don't really go. Really?
I don't actually agree with that, Carl.
No, but people don't realise that there is this whole structure that where people they lead their lives by what these people say, and the damage is so serious. But why can we not get the government? Why can we not get the police to prosecute these people?
There has been talk about the Fraudulent Mediums Act being revived. But,
the Fraudulent Mediums Act is a complete waste of time. We tried we were big advocates of that, and I know you guys are as well. That to bring in some kind of legislation with the Mediums Act to follow. All they've done is now they put in at the beginning of every show that they're on, or they say it themselves, is I'm just giving you what I believe. It's up to you whether you think it's come from a spiritual source or whether I've made it up. That clears them, because then the onus has now just been put on the victim to walk away going...
Which is what we do on our events to a degree, but I have to do that because I don't
Legally, you have to, yeah.
I have to do it, and also I want my mediums let off the hook. I don't want them having to bring stuff up, to make things up, to fit our events. I want them to be able to say, there's nothing in here, or to be at least pretend to be honest on the event.
Do you not also feel, just from your point of view of running these events, that, and something you picked up on earlier, is that they almost muddy the water until they bring the focus to themselves? And how much nicer, I think, if we're all a bit sensitive, if there is something going on that let everybody in that group possibly pick up something. As soon as you've got a medium there saying, they become the focus of attention, don't they? And say, I'm picking up on this, I'm picking up on that.
That's the thing about our events, is all our mediums know that it isn't about them, it's about the guests, and if they're seeing somebody in the corner, then they've got to bring every guest in to try and have that experience.
Well, I know for us, when we've taken the onus or the central point away from the psychic, and that is only ego. That is, and it's usually comedians who actually have that size of an ego. That once you take that away, you get more activity, because instead of concentrating on what they're doing, we've all done it. We used to walk into rooms and whatever they say must be gospel. Because don't forget, I came from a point of believing in psychics completely, and having working with them, I've realised I don't believe in them. But that's for another show. Unfortunately, we've come to the end. Thank you very much for joining us, Andy, Hazel and Richard. Thank you very much for coming in. And join us again next time on The Great Unexplained Debate. See ya.